Today, we bring you one of the most explosive and fascinating stories from Hollywood's golden age, a tale of grudges, betrayal, and fiery clashes involving Frank Sinatra himself, the man the world adored for his velvet voice and unmatched charm. But behind that smooth exterior was someone who carried a list of enemies. And when Sinatra finally revealed the names of the 5 stars he hated most, it shocked the industry. Because this wasn't just gossip. These feuds shaped careers, destroyed friendships, and left scars that never healed. So stay with us till the very end, as we uncover every heated moment, because the names on Sinatra's blacklist will leave you stunned. One of the most legendary feuds was between Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando, 2 titans of mid-century American cinema who could not have been more different. Sinatra was all about precision, speed, and efficiency, while Brando was the face of method acting, a slow, immersive approach that demanded rehearsals and raw emotional preparation. When they clashed on the set of Guys and Dolls in 1955, it was oil meeting fire. Sinatra mocked Brando as mumbles for his quiet delivery, while Brando shot back by calling Sinatra a Goomba. Belittling his background, their feud turned filming into a battlefield where icy stares, cutting remarks, and heated arguments became daily occurrences. This wasn't just about acting styles, it was about pride, identity, and ego. And even decades later, neither man forgave or forgot, with Sinatra continuing to ridicule Brando in interviews and Brando dismissing Sinatra as shallow and commercial. Their feud symbolized a Hollywood split, the old guard of quick charm against the new wave of raw realism. But Brando was not the only name on Sinatra's hate list. John Wayne was another. Their feud was not about acting styles but politics. Wayne was the poster boy of conservative America, the Duke who embodied patriotism, military strength, and traditional values. Sinatra, on the other hand, was close friends with President John F. Kennedy, a supporter of civil rights, and a voice for liberal causes. When Wayne directed and starred in The Alamo in 1960, a film drenched in patriotic valor, Sinatra tore it apart publicly, calling it overly nationalistic and simplistic. Wayne never forgave him for it, openly admitting in interviews that he could not stand Sinatra. Their clash went beyond Hollywood and became a reflection of the political divide splitting America at the time. 2 of the most powerful stars in cinema hating each other for embodying 2 very different versions of America. Then came Peter Lawford, once one of Sinatra's closest allies and a key member of the Rat Pack. Lawford was more than a friend. He was Sinatra's bridge to the Kennedy family through his marriage to Patricia Kennedy, sister of the president. But in 1962, everything crumbled. Sinatra had prepared his Palm Springs estate to host President Kennedy, believing it would cement his influence. But Lawford delivered crushing news. The president would not be coming. White House advisors were worried about Sinatra's rumored mob connections. Sinatra saw this not just as a rejection, but as a deep betrayal by Lawford, his own friend choosing politics over loyalty. Enraged, Sinatra cut Lawford out of his life, and the Rat Pack, even replacing him with Bing Crosby and Robin and the Seven Hoods. From that day on, Lawford was banished, and their friendship, once built on trust and power, was buried forever. Sinatra's list also included Ava Gardner, not because she was a rival, but because she was once his greatest love. Their marriage, from 1951 to 1957, was a whirlwind of passion and chaos. Gardner called Sinatra the love of her life, but their relationship was filled with explosive fights, fueled by jealousy, pride, and 2 unstoppable personalities. Their love was intoxicating, but their fights were destructive. Insiders recalled shouting matches that ended with broken furniture and shattered glass. Yet even after their divorce, their connection lingered. Gardner often mocked Sinatra in interviews with biting remarks. While Sinatra answered with cold silence, their story remains one of Hollywood's most tragic romances, proof that love alone isn't always enough to hold two fiery stars together. And then there was Humphrey Bogart, another icon of Hollywood who at first welcomed Sinatra into his social circle. But tensions grew, especially as Sinatra's charisma began to dominate. Bogart reportedly felt that Sinatra overshadowed him and disturbed the balance of their group. But the breaking point came after Bogart's death, when Sinatra's alleged disrespectful behavior toward Bogart's widow, Lauren Bacall, created outrage among Bogart's closest friends. Bacall herself hinted in her memoir that Sinatra's actions ended any goodwill that once existed, turning what was once a warm friendship into bitter estrangement. For Sinatra, this became yet another fractured bond in a career defined by as many feuds as friendships. What makes Sinatra's feuds unforgettable is not just the names involved, but what they represented. With Brando, it was art against commerce. With Wayne, it was conservatism against progressivism. With Lawford, it was loyalty against betrayal. With Gardner, it was passion against destruction. And with Bogart, it was ego against friendship. Sinatra was adored by millions, but behind the music and the fame was a man who carried grudges like badges, grudges that shaped Hollywood history and still echo decades later. So, what do you think of the stars that Frank Sinatra hated the most? Were his grudges justified? Or were they signs of a man too proud to let go? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Hollywood's untold rivalries, make sure to hit like, share this video, and subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss another story from the hidden corners of fame and history.